chemistry class of St. Peter's College, Colombo, Nirampur branch. In this lesson, we are going to discuss about the acid-base indicators. As you know, for the volumetric titrations, we use an indicator to find the end point of that titrations. The point at which the number of moles of OH minus ions added to solution is equal to the number of the moles of H plus ion originally present is called the equivalence point. And to determine the equivalence point in the titration, what we do? For that, we add an indicator to the analyte. Now we should know what is an indicator. What is the nature of indicator and how it reacts in this titration procedure. Normally the acid-base indicator we add before start the titration, and this is a very interesting group, and indicator is a weak acid or a weak base, and these indicators are derivatives of organic dyes, and there's a significance feature in that indicator because all the indicators contain at least one conjugate acid-base species that is highly colored. So that is the reason we can observe the color change when we do a titration, and this color change with the gradual change of the pH. And if we take as an example the indicator HIN, this is a weak base and work as an indicator. Now this is a monoprotic weak acid because it contains only one H plus ion. So it dissociates in the solution according to this equation. If we take the dissociation of HIN indicator, this is a weak acid and it dissociates like this. HIN, aqueous ion with water, form the H3O plus aqueous ion and IN minus aqueous ion. And for this equilibrium, we can write the KIN value. If we take the KIN value, this is the expression for that. The concentration of H3O plus concentration into IN minus concentration divided by HIN concentration. This is the KIN value of this weak acid HIN, which is work as an indicator in this titration. And as I told you, indicators contain two forms of ions, HIN and IN minus. This is the two forms of indicator, HIN and IN minus ion. And these two forms have different colors. And the color of the solution changed according to the concentrations of these two forms. Then when we change the pH of the solution, this dissociation of HIN acid also change according to the pH value of the solution, and the concentrations of HIN and IN minus forms also change and color also change. And taking the negative log of each side of equation, and we can rearrange this. We can rearrange the previous KIN expression that I show you, and we can take the minus log value to both sides, and if we assume that both HIN and IN minus can be detected with equal at the equivalence point, and that time these two values become equal and pH equal to pKIN value. So this is the midpoint of the equivalence point, and pH is equal to indicators pKIN value. And detecting the point where the concentration of HIN and IN minus are equal may be difficult, because we cannot find the exact color change at that point. So we can find, or we can establish a range of pH that change in the color of that indicator. So if the indicator is in sufficiently acidic media, the equilibrium shifts to the left, which I show you in the dissociation equation. When the indicator in acidic medium, that dissociation of the indicator shift to the left, and predominant color of the indicator is that of the color of HIN. And on the other hand, in the basic media, the equilibrium shift to right, and the color of the solution will be that of the color of the conjugate base, or IN minus ion, and at that time the solution shows the color of IN minus ion. And assume that the solution of the indicator is the color of HIN, wherever its concentration is 10 times more than that of IN minus 12. That means if we take the indicator is color of HIN, when its concentration is more than that of IN minus ion, and at that time it shows the HIN color. And if we use that data, and we equal pKin plus the log value of that difference of the concentrations of HIN and IN minus concentrations. So by substituting that value here, we can find this expression pH equals pKin minus 1. This is the midpoint. At that time pH equals pKin, but in color of HIN. At that time the pH equals pKin minus 1. And on the other hand, when the when the concentration of In minus value is 10 times greater than HIN value, when we substitute that values, we can find this expression pH equals pKin plus 1. So this is the range of pH of the HIN indicator. So the endpoint of an indicator does not occur at a specific pH. There is a range of pH which the endpoint will occur. So for the HIN indicator, this is the range of pH. We can find the endpoint of the titrations. And here this is the chart of some common indicators which we use, and acidic color, the color in base, and the pH range which we can find the endpoint, and also the pKin value of these indicators are shown here. And you can compare these pH ranges and the pKin values and how they change the color in acidic conditions and in basic conditions. And this is the colors they show, and these are the same indicators and how they show their different colors in their pH range. And how we can select an indicator for our titrations. Whether we can use any indicator to any titration, or we have to choose the suitable indicator to our relevant titrations. For that, we have to know the which indicator is suitable for our titrations. And for that, I am going to compare two indicators and how they react in different titrations. So I am going to use very common indicators normally we use in our labs, phenolphthalein and methyl orange. And here I am going to show you how these two indicators react in the different kinds of titrations. And this curve shows the strong acid versus strong base titration, and this is the curve. In here you can see this is the pH and this is the volume that we added to the titration class. And you can see here, this is the steep change of pH where we can find in this titration. And if we use phenolphthalein, this is the pH range of phenolphthalein that we can find the color change. And this is the pH change of pH changing range of methyl orange. So for this titration, we can use these both indicators because the pH range of these indicators are lies in between the steep pH change of this titration. So we can use these both indicators for this titration. And second one, strong acid versus weak base titration. Strong acid and weak base. So this is the titration curve, and this is the steep pH change area. And if we use methyl orange to our titration, the pH color changing pH range of the methyl orange lies in between the pH change of our titration. So we can use methyl orange as our indicator to do this titration. But if we use phenolphthalein for our titration, what happens? You can see here the pH change range of phenolphthalein is not placed in this range. So if we use phenolphthalein, before the endpoint reach, phenolphthalein already changed its color. So we cannot use phenolphthalein for this strong acid weak base titrations. Now let's take weak acid strong base titration. And this is the curve of our titration, and this is the steep change of pH in our titration, and equivalence point must be lies in this pH range. And if we use phenolphthalein, you can see the pH change of phenolphthalein indicator lies between the steep pH change of our titration. So we can use this. And if we try to use methyl orange, this is useless because the pH change of methyl orange does not lie on the pH change of this titration. So now you can understand only we can use phenolphthalein to this titration. Now let's take weak acid weak base titration. This is the pH curve of weak acid weak base titration, and if we use phenolphthalein, there's no steep change in this titration, but there's an equivalence point here. But both of these indicators we cannot use to find this equivalence point because their pH ranges are not in the equivalence point of this weak acid and weak base titrations. So now Next one, the sodium carbonate solution and dilute hydrochloric acid. As you know, there are two pH changes for that titration curve, and if we use phenolphthalein as an indicator for this titration, in the first part of the reaction, we can find the color change in our titration. But if we use methyl orange in the second part of reaction, that means sodium bicarbonate react with HCl and form the carbon dioxide. This is the second reaction. In that point, we can find the color change of the methyl orange, because in the second at the second equivalence point, the methyl orange changes its color. But if we use phenolphthalein, you can only find the first reactions equivalence point of these titrations. So this is the end of our lesson, and in our future videos, I will hope to discuss with you about the buffer solution. Thank you.